Hello, my name is Dennis Daly, and I'm an interviewer for the Public Library of Cincinnati and Hamilton County. And today I have the honor to be interviewing Mr. Lee Davis on January 11th, 2007. Our camera operator today is Sally Mock, and also present is Mr. Davis's daughter, Bernice. Mr. Davis, thank you very much for agreeing to do the interview. And I'd just like to start off, if you could tell us a little bit about what you were doing before the war and how you came to be coming to service.
Well, before the war, I was working out right aeronautic in Lachlan, working on airplane motors. And then I was drafted into service. And from there, after being drafted into service, I came home on furlough. I got to see my oldest daughter. She was just a baby then. I was getting ready to go overseas. Oh. After I was ready to go overseas, I was in camp, and we came up through Cincinnati on a train. Went all the way to Newport, Norfolk, Virginia.
If I may, what branch of the service did you?
Army.
Your Army? And where did you do your basic training?
Fort McClellan, Alabama.
Fort McClellan, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And were there any memories about the basic training that you'd like to talk about, or?
We got used to that, basic training. You had to have that before you go overseas.
Sure.
But it was rough and rugged, but I made it through. I was in infantry. So after I finished my training, we went to Norfolk, Virginia, then we got ready to go overseas. And went overseas on the boat. It took us 10 days to get over there. I'll never forget that. 10 days to come back.
Now, on your way over, did you go in convoy?
Convoy.
And did you do the zigzags so you could avoid the U-boat attacks?
Well, they did all that on the big boats there.
Sure.
When they first marched us to Norfolk, Virginia, when I was boarding a boat, we got on the ship around about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Went down in the hatch, and when I came back up out of that hatch, I seen them in the sky and water. We were well on our way. They never tell you where you're going. They never tell you where you're going.
Now, this was in 1944?
1944.
And you knew that you were going to Europe, though. You didn't...
I had no idea.
Oh, you really?
I thought I was going to South Pacific.
Oh, really?
I didn't know. But we went over in Europe. We got to Italy. And we was on the boat there. Well, they didn't tell us till after we got there. But when we was sailing, the captain on the ship pointed out certain parts of interest. And we went through the Rock of Gibraltar.
It must have been very interesting to see.
And I knew right then and then that was somewhere in Europe when we got to the Rock of Gibraltar. So he pointed out several different things, different little islands, things like that. We saw that. But on it going over, we got a chance to see a lot of other ships going, to and from. But we never had any what you call air attacks that I know of. It's scary. Of course, the ships fired several big shells at nighttime.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Of course, we didn't know what that was all about. They don't tell you anything like that.
Did you ever find out what was going on?
Huh?
Did you ever find out what was going on, or?
Nobody else did know.
Oh, really? So the whole way over, no one on the ship knew where you were headed?
No, them says, hey, you know.
Okay. None of the other GIs knew?
Yeah, I guess what, some say we're going to South Pacific, some say you're going to Europe. You don't know where we're going because where's Europe, see? Until after you get there.
Sure.
Well, the ship landed in Naples. We got off the boat there. And we got on the train. Went up to some little small town. Then next thing you know, I was on a little small PT boat going up towards the front line. Well, after we got there, the captain orders all, of course, you put on your fatigues and everything like that. And you move at nighttime, you don't move at daytime. After it was on PT boat, we went up and then we start replacing the guys already on the front line.
Now, what kind of body of water were you on the PT boat? You were back on the ocean?
This was a little small boat there. I guess about 20, 25 of us on there.
Okay.
Mm. That was a rough ride too. Oh, brother.
I bet you it was more rough than the big ship.
Yeah. So wasn't on it too long. We cut off and then we joined the others to relieve the other being, in the foxholes. And I was out there when they were firing, the Germans were firing those big shells, and they were hitting trees this big, and just break them half, just like Maxim, just. It was experience. I've never experienced nothing like that before in my life, but I don't think I want to go through that again. And I said, some said they wasn't scared, but I was scared to death the whole time, because it could be, any minute it could be, you see fellows falling, by the wayside.
Sure.
And I said, my goodness, if I made it. So while I was there, I had my little small Bible, they give you in the Army, Well, I kept it with me at all times. So we was in the foxhole, and they come by and give us our, little rations. You carry your rations with you. That was it. Shells were firing over me, breaking trees,
How long did the shelling go on for? Do you
Lord, that was all night long.
All night? This is the first night?
Mm-hmm. So I said, if I can make it through this year, I think I have it. Good Lord must have been with me. That's about the size of it.
So how long were you? Now, do you remember? Did you ever find out what part of Italy you were first assigned to?
Oh, first we were going to pass Massa.
Okay.
It was a little place I haven't forgotten now. That's over 61 years. But I got on my discharge.
So how long were you in this first area? Did you wait out the Germans, or did you actually have to assault their positions to move?
Oh, we had to fight them. We had to fight them. They were fighting us, shooting one another. We stood until they got relief,
Mm-hmm.
Then bring another crew in and take the other guys out and go back and cleaned up and things like that. And I got trench feet.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I got trench feet when I was over there. And I was in hospital for 21 days.
Were you in the hospital in Italy, or did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 21 days, 12th General Hospital in Naples.
How was that experience?
Oh boy, the hospital was nice, but I couldn't walk or nothing like that. They had to cut my shoes off.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Because your feet had swelled
Swollen
up?
up, yeah.
Okay.
Mm. Yeah, we had to wade across the water and hold your rifle like that. And that was in February, and that was cold.
February 45?
Mm-hmm. So, trying to get all my thoughts together on this here.
No problem.
But it was cold, very cold. I'll never forget that. And a lot of guys some got sick. Some of them go back to the hospital. I had to go back to the hospital. I couldn't even get my shoes off. They had to cut it off. And I was laid up for 21 days. 12 years in the hospital.
I have a kind of a question about that, which I hadn't run across. We've interviewed a number of African American veterans, and we know the Army was segregated at that time.
Yes.
Were the hospitals also segregated, or were there integrated?
It was integrated.
Was it really?
And there was some whites in there when I was in there.
Sure. Same floor and.
Yeah.
Okay.
They treated you nice and everything like that, but when I was sick, I couldn't march or do anything. The foot was sore, so they had to carry it in the ambulance down to the 12th General Hospital.
So that happened in February of 45. Do you remember what month in 44 you landed in Italy? Was it later in the year, or?
We landed in Italy, that was in November.
Okay.
44. And I finished my basic training down in Fort McClellan, went to Infantry Hendrick, and from Infantry Hendrick to Norfolk, Virginia. We got on the boat to go overseas. See, when they get ready to sing someplace, they don't tell you where you're going, all you're going. See?
Follow orders.
Follow orders.
That's right.
Oh, that's it.
So after you got out of the hospital, did you rejoin your unit?
I rejoined the unit.
Okay. And you were still in Italy at this time in February?
Yeah, I stayed there in Italy until the time I was discharged.
Okay. So that would have been close to the end of the war when you got out of the hospital.
Well, not close to the end. The war was still going on. I come back and I went back with the infantry, you know. So the war was still going on.
Still fighting?
Yeah. It ended around about in April.
Right.
Yeah, around about April. That was 45. Germans surrendered, but they captured the Germans over there, and they were nice people. They didn't give no trouble at all. In fact, they did a lot of cooking and stuff like that, and they have soldiers walking with them, supposed to be watching them. Soldiers would be in the middle of the German fields. They wouldn't run away no way because the Americans would treat them nicely.
Sure. Do you remember, could you convey to us, when the war ended in Italy? In fact, I've heard a number of stories of people that were in Germany and in that area when the war ended. What was it like? What happened? How did you find out the war ended? Did the Germans just put a white flag up, or did somebody come and tell you?
Her commander also told us.
Okay.
Yeah. And they loaded the Germans up on the big semi-trailers. They had to stand up, you know, they looked. The MPs would be in front, MPs would be in the rear, 2 guards on the side. And they had big jeeps with machine guns. But the Italian people were so mad at them. When those trucks came down, they started throwing bottles, rocks, and everything else.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, the Germans had to duck all that.
Sure. So they were probably pretty happy to get in the American ones.
Yeah, well, the Americans treat them nice, you know. You're not supposed to mistreat no prisoners whatsoever. That was against the rules.
And I'm just curious again, when you say, when you talk about how nice the Americans treated the Germans, did anybody have any kind of idea about the Holocaust in Italy at that time?
Well, I talked to some of them over there. I said that wasn't too nice, you know. A lot of people were losing their lives over there, you know, because of the Jewish race.
Sure.
You know, Hitler just didn't like the Jewish spirit. And the things he did, it was disapproved of. Even the people over there. Even some of the Germans didn't like it, but they couldn't say anything.
Sure.
If you say anything like that, then your life is on the line.
Sure. Did you find out about it when you were overseas, or did you find out about it when you came back to the States?
What, about the Holocaust?
About the Holocaust.
Oh, I heard about it when I was over there.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about it from German prisoners, or from, do you remember?
Italians.
Oh, the Italians.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, they tell you that they hate it. But the Germans, you know, we captured them, we didn't have to worry about them escaping because none of them was even interested in escaping.
Sure.
They got good food, they got good clothes, place to stay, roof over their head. As long as they do what they're supposed to do, that was all necessary. And I was fortunate enough not to be captured by one because I used to go on scout patrol. I thought many a time in life was on the line, you know, but Germans were smart. Let you walk by and let you find out what you want, but when you come back, that's when he get you.
Do you want to talk about a little bit about your scout patrols? What was that usually at night? They would send you out
Nighttime.
to?
Sometimes we do it at nighttime. They shoot the flares, you stand still, you don't move. Because, oh boy, my heart is. I thought any day would be my last. Mm-hmm.
How did they choose who was going to go out on a patrol? They would just sort of select people?
This is selected. You. Can't say no.
That's right. So you just go out and would they give you specific assignments that they wanted you to find out about?
Well, they will send you out to see what you can find out, to see where the positions are, there are and everything. But when you go out, you don't shoot anything like that because you give yourself away.
Sure. So you never got into a gunfight with Germans out there? Okay.
Or we had to, when they shoot at you, when we was on the front line, when they're shooting at me, they'd shoot back. Just pray and hope you don't get hit.
Yeah, right. The war was over, and how long did you stay overseas after the war was over?
Well, I stayed over there till January 1946, and you know they came out with that point system that you can get out, you know.
And what kind of stuff were you doing over there?
Well, after the war, I was used to help run the supply house, issue out, make out orders and stuff like that. Guys, you know, clothing and mess gear and stuff like that, all missed. I made up orders and things like that, and take orders, you know, order supplies and stuff like that. That's what I did.
Okay. What was your unit doing over there at that time? Was there a lot of reconstruction going on?
Well, they were doing some reconstruction. That's true enough. But most of the things try to clear up things, you know, clean up.
Okay.
After the war, I think, you know, they go back and all the houses being torn down, I understand they're supposed to rebuild those things. But whether, I think, I don't know whether it's through the Italian government or American government.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm not sure on that either.
Mhm. But they clear up everything. Most of some of the older buildings, I think, were still standing when I was there. It was, demolished through the pump. But I think all that's torn down now, because after the war is over with, they go back and have to, I think they have to pay those people so much money, like they got the property torn up.
Mm-hmm.
So much the Germans, I think so much as the United States pay and so much the German pay, I guess, for it.
And another question I had, how long were the Germans, the prisoners, around before they got sent back to Germany? Was it a very short time, or?
It's a short time.
Okay.
Yeah, we catch them and we send them back.
Okay.
But they come in and volunteer themselves. One scared me to death one time. He was going to give it up.
Okay.
I got a tent there.
This is when the war was still going on?
Yeah.
He came and knocked on your tent to surrender?
How he got it, I don't know. But
You opened your tent flap and there's a German standing out there?
I thought it was after me. But they were nice. They went on back because it's friendly. Everything.
Did you think, I know a lot of veterans of the European theater, were you fearful that you were going to be sent to the Pacific because the war with Japan was still going on?
We supposed to, our commanding officer, after the war was over, he was telling us about Pacific, since the war is over with, everything was getting in order now to send all the guys from over there over to the Pacific have to fight, the Japanese. It wasn't long after that, I think it was in September or
August, when they dropped
August.
the bomb, yeah.
when the Japanese, when they dropped the bomb. So that settled up, that settled all of that. So we got a chance to go over to Switzerland on a little vacation.
Okay. Was that was after the Japanese surrender and you knew you weren't going to have to go, so they gave you leave?
Mm-hmm. So I enjoyed going over to Switzerland.
Where in Switzerland did you go?
I went to Bern, Lucerne. There's several other little small towns. I missed my train in Lucerne when I was there. Group left before I knew anything about it. I missed my train. And a young couple was with me that took me down to the station. Well, the lady told me, said, well, I'll tell you, you come on back with us and you just stay at our house. So I had to stay at her house all night. And the next morning, around about close to noon, they took me down to the station, got my train and caught up with my other units.
Did they treat you right?
Oh,
Feed you well?
Give me a nice breakfast and a nice dinner, a nice soft warm bed. I really enjoyed myself. We used to play cards at night time.
And they wrote to you? They wrote you a letter, right?
Huh?
Did they write to you?
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
you got the touch after you came back?
Put some letters.
I couldn't find the letter.
Oh, you didn't?
No, but they wrote to him, they corresponded after the war.
Oh, that's great. The family that let you stay with them?
Mm-hmm.
Were they of German descent or French descent?
Part French. In Switzerland, it is about, I'll say, about 75% of people can speak English. You can speak English and they can understand you clearly. Although people are very friendly over there, they're very friendly.
Must have been a little bit of a change because the war didn't touch Switzerland, so to come through the war-torn country that you were from in Italy.
Well, they played, they didn't want to have nothing to do with the war,
Sure.
as far as that concerned. So Germans didn't get a chance to bomb them like they do the other areas.
So everything was still
And
intact?
Rome, they didn't bomb Rome either.
Did you get a chance to see Rome while you were over there?
Saw a little of it, not much of it.
Okay.
So see over there, you can get on a bus or streetcar, you can ride the uniform with your ticket.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you go from one place to another, and no charge.
Did you get a chance to get on leave anywhere in Italy, Naples or?
I've been through Naples, been to Florence, been to Mecca, Massa.
Were you on leave in any of those places, or were you going through?
Just going through.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So your big leave was in Switzerland?
Well, you don't wander off too far from your camp, you know.
Sure. Oh, no. Especially when there's people shooting at you.
Yeah, shoot. But on top of that, you have to be careful too on riding transportation too, because you could, if they stop the streetcars from running or buses running, you in that town, by golly, you may have to sit out of the park or something. You got no way to get back unless you go walk.
Sure.
That's a long walk.
Yeah.
So people were very nice over there. They were very nice. If you carry yourself in such a way, they can respect it. If you don't, they don't have nothing to do with you.
Did you find that people treated you with more respect than, say, in Alabama, where you did your basic training?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Was that an eye-opener for you? Something that...
But it was real life. I wouldn't mind going back again. Switzerland, just like it is here in the States. Yeah, they were very, very nice. Very convenient, and nice restaurants, nice food, and people were very pleasant. Everybody you talked to, you looked like they got a smile on their face. Yeah, I like that. Mhm.
Makes me want to go. I've never been to Switzerland.
Well, it's fun. If you go there, you enjoy it.
That's where my family's from.
Switzerland?
Swiss German, yeah.
Oh, well, you got a good family then.
I don't know.
Swiss German?
Mr. Davis, after the war, after January, you came back, 10 days to come back. How was that different, the boat ride back, than when you were coming over?
You know, the boat ride coming back, the weather was pretty good in some parts, and sometimes we ran into a little storm like, and a great big ship, like they waved, taking and just boat down, just like that. You fall out of the hangar or something like that, or get seasick. We had, not only that, we got seasick, but I'll tell you about the meals. Going over, we had 2 meals. Now, there's at 10 o'clock and at 5. Now, there wasn't no place for you to buy anything. If you missed one of those, brother, you just got luck till the next morning, see? Yeah. So, they have boiled potatoes, butter, milk, and powdered milk, coffee. That was it.
Same every day?
Bread. That's what you had for breakfast. Powdered eggs, powdered milk, coffee, and bread.
And coming back, did you get better meals coming back?
A little bit better when we hit the States. When we come back, we got off in New York. We passed the Statue of Liberty. We saw that. The boat came back and they had a big spray.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And the captain announced on the ship and said, well, when you get off the boat, we got a big steak dinner for you. They all like that.
Where did you go to a restaurant in New York, or did you have a mess hall set up?
They had mess hall.
Okay.
All went there and sit down and ate this big steak dinner and everything. Just served us in grand style.
Did you get a chance to spend any time in New York before you were discharged? or-
Well, going through the process of getting up, and we got off the boat, we had to process, everything. But getting off the boat there, we didn't get a chance to see much of the city going in and out, we had to stay with your, with your group.
Right.
And then they were loading us on the train as they got us processed. You're on the train and they were going different directions.
Okay. So you just directly left then?
Yeah. Went from there down to, actually Henry, as it's in, through Indiana, then to Evanston, Indiana, then back down to Kentucky, then back to Cincinnati, where I got off. That's where I enlisted.
Is that, I've never asked him that before, but is that how it worked? You got off where you enlisted?
Yeah.
They would always take you back to the...
Yeah, they was like regular.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then you were out of the Army?
Well, when they give you your money back, and you're out, you go home.
Were you in the reserve still, or?
No, I didn't join the reserve.
Okay.
No, I didn't join the reserve, just the Army.
I know some people did, they weren't too happy about it when Korea came around.
Well, every time they come up with something like that, there's always some little difference on that, They run just a little bit different. But, no, we, after you get this discharge, you go home. They give you papers and your ticket. They give you your uniform. That's it. You got your double bag, that's yours.
Oh, yeah?
Only thing you leave is your rifle. You don't take none of the ammunition.
Okay. But you got to take your uniform and your...
Yeah, uniforms, all that's yours.
So you went home, back to your wife, and how many children at that time? Just one?
My daughter was she was just a baby, around about 5 years old.
And then after that, did you spend the rest of your life in Cincinnati?
Cincinnati. They offered me a job as a guard in Dayton, but I didn't take it because it was so far to commute back and forth. But they kept me on the list there for about 5 years. They said, you was a regular, was it temporary, then you're regular, got regular employment.
Okay. Where did you end up going to work when you came back?
What?
I'm sorry.
What kind of work I've been doing?
Yeah, after you came
There's numbers of things I've been doing. I worked at Castle Farm,
Okay.
and I worked at used to be a truck driver for Swartz Tailoring Company. Then I went on from there to the post office.
Okay.
And that's where I retired from.
Now that's interesting because that seems to be an avenue that a lot of vets from World War II went to the post office. Did you work with a lot of veterans?
Yeah, a lot of veterans, yeah. Different guys from different areas, Some of them worked at different jobs. Even some of them worked for our U.S. Internal Revenue Service.
Oh, okay. Retired from the post office, what year did you retire?
What year? 1980.
1980.
I've been retired now over 20-some years.
Been enjoying yourself?
I've been enjoying myself.
Absolutely.
And loving every bit of it.
Well, you earned it, sir. You earned it. Anything else you'd like to add about your experience during the war or after that we haven't covered or talked about today?
We had a lot of fun on the train, riding the trains coming back, you know, the guys were so happy.
Back in the States after you got processed?
Yeah, it made me feel at home. And we went out to rights to visit some of them out there. We're working, of course, a lot of them got laid off when the war was ended.
Sure.
So I saw a few out there. I talked to them and everything like that, got a chance to get in. They said, oh, our job is coming to a close. Well, I saw it in the paper in the Stars and Stripes. That's the newspaper you get, you know,
Sure.
in the Army. The war ended. Now, all the people who worked out those defense plants, you know, were let go. Mm-hmm.
Did they do that because there wasn't going to be as much work, or did they do that because the GIs were coming back and they were going to have their jobs back?
No, they closed the plant down.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And laid a lot of those people off because after the war was over, they had no need for her anymore.
Now, this was the plant that you worked at before you left?
Yeah.
Did that close down?
Yeah.
Do you remember if they told you you'd have your job waiting for you when you left?
You didn't know where I had a job or not.
Okay. I didn't know
No,
they would have said that to
They
you.
didn't say anything like that.
Okay. Well, at least they were honest.
If I saw the Stars and Stripes paper, you know, we get the news over there just like they have here.
Sure.
And over there, it was telling us in the paper there, they said all the people were, you know, the war was over with, and they terminated.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think that might be kind of bad for morale.
I said, well, that's no job there for me. So they didn't have anything. The plant was just locked down. You know.
Really?
Just a handful of people, you know, just getting things together, and that's I
Sure.
And I'm thinking about 4 years or something like that. After that, the whole place was a total blackout. And then they said General Electric took it over after.
Okay.
It used to be Wright's Aeronautical.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's General Electric.
They build aircraft
I don't know.
engines. I think they did it one time. I don't know.
I don't know what they do. General Electric took it over after I was gone from there.
Okay. Well said. Anything else you can think of that you want to talk about? Or?
That's the only thing, trying to find a job when I go back. That was the hardest thing.
So the whole boom of the war, there was kind of a recession when you came back. The economy was a little bit sagging right
It was
after.
staggering, you know, there wasn't much work going. Jobs were sort of difficult to get hold of then.
How long did it take you to find work?
Or it took me about 6 months or something like that to really find anything decent, you know.
Right.
You can get little small jobs that don't pay anything, you know. But you don't want that. Time you pay car fare and your transportation, what little bit you make is gone. So I draw on unemployment for about 6 months after I came back from out of service.
Oh, the Army gave you unemployment?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask to see if they cut off their pay after you were discharged. But, so they did have some sort of
No,
insurance.
it was unemployment, you know, like you work out at Rice. I worked out at Rice there. Well, I went down and applied for unemployment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the government, that's what it was, you know.
So when you got discharged, that was it from the Army?
Yeah,
They weren't going to help you out a little bit?
well, they helped me out by giving me a little small pension, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting.
But outside that there, guys were looking for jobs, you know, trying to find places. Even went out to Procter & Gamble, well, Procter & Gamble was prejudiced, and they didn't have no blacks who work out there,
Really?
you know, not that particular time. But they, later on, you know, they reversed that.
Sure.
And they
But
got,
they, was that a sort of just an understanding that people knew, or was it an actual policy that Procter & Gamble said, we won't hire African Americans?
they just didn't hire.
Just the
No.
way it happened?
I told him, he said, well, I'm sorry, but you just don't hire kind of people right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Different times.
So I had to go with the flow. But the times changed. Now you got a whole lot of blacks working out there.
Sure.
So a lot of places have rights, didn't segregate anything like that. Take you as you're, you know, as you are.
So it was more a company by company thing?
Company, yeah.
Really?
But I think a lot of them have gotten away from that sort of thing now, you know.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, it's against the law for one thing.
Yeah. So they just judge you by, you know, your character and
Sure.
what you have to offer.
Which is the way it should be.
I tell a lot of young kids today now, I say, prepare yourself now, someday the chance may come, see? And that's true.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's about the size of it.
Well, sir, thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us. It is an honor and a pleasure to meet you. And that's it.